The London Theatre Cast. In the spotlight.
All I wish, implore, is that this tale of mine be told, so I may sleep without nightmares.
I recalled that the way to banish an old ghost that continues its hauntings is to exorcise it. Well then, mine should be exorcised. I should tell my tale.
Watching you, it is as if I relive it all.
I have a child myself.
Love her. Take care.
Supernatural thriller The Woman in Black is pretty much a West End institution these days. The only play to have been running longer in Theatreland is The Mousetrap, and even counting musicals like Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables and Blood Brothers, it's the 5th longest running show in the West End today. The tale of a young solicitor sent to tie up the affairs of a recently dead woman who stumbles across a horrifying mystery when he begins to notice a dishevelled-looking woman. It's been scaring London audiences at the Fortune Theatre since 1989. As the spooky show celebrates its 20th birthday, I caught up with its director Robin Herford, who still returns to direct every new cast, to get his view on London theatre's most spine-chilling experience.
Sort of unreal. The show started from such modest beginnings in a tiny studio theatre up in Scarborough at the Stephen Joseph Theatre in 1987, and I wanted a show that would fill 3.5 weeks to sell in this 70-seater studio, and it went very well, and it actually sold out very quickly, and we put in midnight matinees and that sort of thing, and they sold. And at the end of it, Stephen Mallerstrat, who wrote it, and I thought, well, do you think it might go on somewhere else? And I then spent the next year knocking on doors, trying to find a producer who would put it on in London. And Peter Wilson was the man who obliged.
Wow, that's incredible. So there was never any thought when you first did it that it would go anywhere other than...
No, it was meanness. It was good old Yorkshire meanness, because Alan Ayckbourn, who runs the Stephen Joseph Theatre, he'd been asked to go to the National Theatre by Peter Hall for 2 years, and he left me in charge in his stead. So I get to choose what plays we do and to commission new work and to cast it and all those sort of exciting things. I
guess a ghost story translates very easily. Everyone has ghost stories, so it just goes easily into different cultures. And
yes, it does. I mean, I've taken this to India and to China and to Japan. I've actually directed it in Japanese in Japan, and it's wonderful because they absolutely believe. Whereas in this country we're sort of, it was probably a trick of the light. I don't actually know anyone who's met a ghost, who's seen a ghost, but my auntie knows someone who, but we're very sceptical, basically, and I'm sceptical. I mean, I've never seen a ghost. I don't not believe in ghosts, but I've yet to be convinced that they exist. When that day comes, I will be terrified. But in Japan, they have a much stronger idea of the spirit world. They celebrate the spirits of their ancestors on special days of the year, and so they absolutely tuned into this play in a wonderful way. And they like it so much. I've been back there 6 times, and this last summer, when I went over in June to direct it in Tokyo at the start of a tour that they were doing, we managed to arrange it for them to come over here and bring the Japanese version to the Fortune, and they played on our stage, on our set, for a week in September, which was just the most amazing event. Fantastic.
And you've starred in it as well, haven't you? Am I right in saying that?
Yes, I have. Yes,
You're not sounding quite as
No. I love. I feel bad about it because there are so many actors, and I get to direct this, which is fantastic. So it seems a bit greedy that I should act in this as well. But I do it sparingly, but occasionally I have been known to. It's such fun.
Nice for you to see it from another angle.
Well, the serious side of that question is that I firmly believe that you direct work better if you know what it involves. to be on the other side of the footlights, as it were.
The London Theatre Cast.
The wonder for me with Women in Black is that you have taken this story and you tell it with 2 actors, minimal props, yet you do get these incredible responses from the audience.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about the show that does that?
Well, it's the audience's imagination. They do it to themselves. I mean, they really do. That's not just a cop-out. They really do. I mean, we use very basic elements of theatrical magic, like a gauze which is stretched across the stage. If you light it on one side, it appears to be solid. If you kill that light and light it from behind, you can see right through it. So it means that you can do wonderful reveals and things. It's not rocket science. The light is terribly important. The sound is terribly important. And I hope people aren't that aware of the sound or the light, but it is very complicated. It's been put there in a way so that it just enhances everything. And the other thing, I think, is that it's not just what happens on stage. The whole theatre is the set. So people make entrances from behind you. Sound effects come from behind you, from the side of you. You're never quite sure where the next thing is coming from. If you're in a cinema, you know that you're sat in that seat and that actually what you're watching is essentially a flat screen against a flat wall. This is three-dimensional, it's live, and the actors are all around you. So we do work at unsettling people. We're just upturning their expectations. I like to keep the temperature in the auditorium just a little bit colder than is comfortable, so that people, they come in and there's no music playing, there's nothing particularly welcoming. The set, is open, there's no curtain. It looks as if we're in a dusty old dead theatre with some, the remnants of a bit of set still on stage, some old furniture. And then we start. And it's not what people expect.
There's just a hint of the evil genius about you as you describe all of that.
People have described me as sadistic, which I think is very unfair. But I do enjoy the impact that the play has, and that's not only just frightening people. One of the things I'm proudest of with this show is the huge numbers of young people who come and see this show. Young adults. I mean, adults. I reckon, by that I mean anyone over the age of 12. We in the theatre live in dread of the school party, the school visit to the theatre, which can be so dead. But actually, they come here in their hundreds, and they are fantastic, and they breathe life into the show. Quite often audiences are a little bit apprehensive at seeing large numbers of young people here, but I tell you, by the time the show starts and when they start giving vent to their emotions, which are very close to the surface, their imaginations are right for this sort of stuff. It's tremendous, and it gives us such a lift.
It's just fantastic, I think, that after 20 years here, 22 years for you, you still seem to have this incredible passion for the show. You're not tired of it at all.
No, I'm not. I mean, I should make it clear, I do a lot of other shows as well. This year I'll do 8 shows, one of which is The Woman in Black, because otherwise I would go stark staring mad. But actually, I really believe in this show. I think it tells us something very profound about theatre. I think it's wonderful that we in the Fortune Theatre are just over the road from the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, where Miss Saigon was playing, where Oliver is playing now, where you have fantastic sets. In Miss Saigon you had a helicopter landing on stage in the second act. We've got a couple of chairs, a skip and 2 actors and a coat rack of costumes, and we tell a story. And the power of the story, the power of dramatic narrative, and the excitement that is generated by actors becoming other people. That's another form of magic. They put on a hat, adopt another voice, they're someone else. It's not rocket science, but it celebrates the art of acting, celebrates what actors can do. And I love it. And I think this play, I had no idea it was as good as it is. I really do think it's rather a special piece. And I've been hugely blessed and enormously fortunate to be allowed to direct it for all this time.
Fantastic. Robin, thank you so much for talking to us today.
My great pleasure.
Tell me, that woman, I hope she can find her own way home. She looks so dreadfully unwell.
I did not see a young woman.
I did not believe in ghosts.
There she is again! Spider! He stands amazed and bewildered. He grabs her neck. Child, let it be light. Get away!
I pray for God's protection on us.
The Woman in Black is currently booking at the Fortune Theatre until January 2010. For more information, visit thewomaninblack.com.
The London Theatre Cast. Friends of officiallondontheatre.co.uk